everyone. Today we'll discuss about gut wellness. Before we begin, let's all have an activity now. Let us all observe silence. Exit all your worries. Slowly calm down your heart. Listen to your heart, its heartbeat. Slowly observe yourself. Interact within yourself. Now, you can observe your body starts expressing something with you. It speaks through the restless feet, the shaking fingers, the burning gas reflex, and the racing heart. You can now try to understand its expressions, that it's trying to speak something with you, trying to take its attention with you, which means you are developing the symptoms of a disease. Now, hello everybody. Welcome to e-learning site of Sita Lakshmi Ramaswamy College, Tiruchirappalli. This is Professor Chellam. Today, we all have joined here to try and understand the importance of gut health and the inner organs. Today, amidst the pandemic, when a person gets infected with COVID-19 virus, we often hear that his lungs gets affected, and we can see the victim struggling for breath, which makes us come to a conclusion that COVID is a lung disease. But autopsy report says many victims are not only affected with lung, but the other organs too. Especially gut got affected a lot, which suggests that though the coronavirus is not directly involved in gut, it increases the severity of the disease. Dr. Kim, the lead researcher of Korea, says there seems to be a clear connection between the altered gut microbiome in severe COVID-19 cases. He says the whole world is suffering from COVID-19, but people do not even realize that the pandemic is damaging the gut microbiomes, which is more serious than the infection. Various microbiologists from well-esteemed organizations found the poor gut health is adversely affecting COVID-19 prognosis. And the dysfunctioning of gut affects the leaky gut, which exacerbates the severity of the infection by enabling the virus to access the surface of the digestive tract and internal organs. Recent researchers reports gastrointestinal symptoms and liver biochemical abnormalities in COVID-19 patients until September 2020 reveals the gastrointestinal and liver dysfunctions were primary signs of COVID-19, which should not be neglected during the pandemic. Similarly, for any other disease like malaria, typhoid, influenza, we can observe lot of gut disturbances. So, this is a clear information to all of us that GI system play major role in general health as well as wellness. Before this pandemic, we generally would have thought it is hardly a news that the GI tract is important to human health, general health. We used to simply think that it transports food from the mouth to stomach, converts the food into nutrients, helps us to absorb the nutrients, stores the energy, and shuttles waste back from the body to outside. If you don't properly nourish yourself, you don't live. It is that simple. So this is what was up to us. To begin with, let's learn about some salient features of human gut here. The GI tract is a hollow organ joined in a long twisting tube from the mouth to anus. The hollow organs that make up of GI tract are the mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, and large intestine. Finally, the anus. The liver, pancreas, and gallbladder are the solid organs of digestive system that enables the digestive system functions well. The organs that food and liquid travel through when they are swallowed, digested and absorbed and leave the body as feces. The food that we eat cannot be used by our body as such. It is the digestive system that works together to convert the food into simple substances such as nutrients and water, which are then absorbed into the bloodstream and helps to keep your body healthy. Whatever isn't absorbed keeps moving through the GI tract until you get rid of it by using the bathroom. So now, how does the food move through your GI tract? Food moves through the GI tract by the process called peristalsis, which is a peculiar movement of the GI tract. By using the muscular movement, the contraction and relaxation movement of the muscles of GI tract, the food from one portion of the GI tract travels into other portion. If you drink liquids, it doesn't require much effort of your tract to move from one place to other. Whereas if you eat solids, it requires some efforts of muscles of GI tract to move. So this happens with the support of the nervous system. The muscular movement happens in a wavy motion. The peristalsis happens for the smooth functioning of the GI system to transport the food materials to the entire body. The muscle behind the food contracts and squeezes the food forward, while the muscles in the front of the food relaxes to allow the foods to move. This is how the peristalsis happens. Now let's see the role of mouth in GI function. When food starts to move through GI tract when you eat, you swallow with the help of your tongue. The tongue of your mouth pushes the food back to your throat. A small flap of tissue which is present inside the throat is called as epiglottis. Folds over your windpipe to prevent choking of the food, which also supports passing the food to your esophagus. Now the esophagus starts its function. Once you begin swallowing the food, the process becomes automatic. Your brain signals the muscles of esophagus and peristaltic movement begins. After the peristaltic movement begins, the lower esophageal sphincter supports the food reaches the stomach. When the food reaches the end of your esophagus, a ring-like muscle which is called as lower esophageal sphincter, which relaxes and allows the food to pass into the stomach. This sphincter usually stays closed when you don't eat, but when the food enters into the esophagus, it starts slowly opening itself and allows the food to pass into the stomach. And once when the food passed into the stomach, this again gets closed. Once after the food enters stomach, the stomach muscle mixes the food and liquid with digestive juices secreted by the inner lining of the stomach. The stomach now slowly empties its contents into the small intestine. The content which is now produced by the stomach, that is, the food item, is now converted into the form which is called as chyme. The chyme, when it enters into the small intestine, the muscles of the small intestine mixes the food again with the digestive enzymes secreted by the liver, pancreas and intestinal wall, which again play an important role in digesting the substances into finer elements and pushing the mixture forward for further digestion. The wall of small intestine absorbs water and digested nutrients quickly into the bloodstream. As peristalsis continues, the waste products which are not absorbed by the small intestine passed into the digestive tract to the large intestine. The waste products from the digestive process includes undigested parts of food, fluid, older and torn out cells of the inner lining of the GI tract, which are now passed via large intestine and excreted through the anus and rectum. This also again done with the help of the peristaltic movement only. Rectum, the lower end of your large intestine, which plays another important role in digestion process. Whatever substances that are unabsorbed by the intestine, along with excess of liquid and waste materials that are torn out from the intestine, that now entered into the rectum and allowed to stay for some time. Here in the rectum, a magic happens that there are more number of microorganisms, bacteria, which are cultured inside this rectal region, ensures that the food has to get fermented. Here the waste food materials got fermented, and which plays an important role in the immune surveillance. Why? Because here this is the place where the microbial attack over the waste material gets converted itself into more number of needed nutrients as well as immunoglobulins, which again play an important role in immune boosting effect. So this is the ultimate action of the intestine, large intestine, for the support of immune. Well, what are the functions of GI tract? The action of motility. Moving food through long digestive tract is called as motility. This happens through the stretching and contraction of the muscles of GI tract lead to the movement of food. Imagine if you don't have this property in your GI system, whatever you eat will still be in the mouth or in the esophagus itself. So it is the innate, beautiful quality of the GI tract which enable us to swallow, gulp and transport our food from one region of GI tract to other region. Function number 2, digestion. It is the most important function of our digestive system. That is, it is the breaking down of the food into simpler substances. The breaking down of the food into simpler substances is the most important action. Why? Because whatever we eat from mouth is not going to be entered into your GI tract as such, as well as is not going to be absorbed by your bloodstream as such. Whatever you eat, maybe your idli, maybe your pancake or dosha, it has to go get converted itself into simpler substances like carbohydrates, proteins, maybe further simpler substances, nanomaterials like glucose, amino acids, fatty acids. Only the nanomaterials of such kind gets absorbed by the intestine, and it is recommended to travel for bloodstream. So this part of the GI function is highly essential in order to get the nutrients back to the body from the food. So this function play an important role in the body, and the working of this function done with the support of several enzymes secreted by the solid organs of the GI system like liver and pancreas. The next function of GI tract is secretion. Secretion is a process of releasing chemical substances from a cell or a gland in our digestive system. The digestive juices are the secretions of the digestive tract which helps in digestion or breaking down of the foods into nutrients, which is the most important aspect of GI tract, which makes us to function very well and enable the GI system to function quite well. Salivary glands that are present inside our mouth, stomach, pancreas, liver, and all these kind of solid organs also play an important role in secretion. All these organs put together make enzymes that are rich in digestive juices and secretes them into GI tract so that the digestive juices help breakdown of food into simpler substances. The next function is absorption. Food particles that are broken down into simpler substances are called nutrients. They may be protein, vitamin, minerals, fats, carbohydrates. Now, these simpler substances or nutrients are ready to get absorbed by the cells of GI tract, which are then absorbed into bloodstream, distributed these nutrients to the entire body with the support of bloodstream. The process of sucking the nutrients by the villi or the inner wall of the GI tract is called as absorption. Ensuring the process of absorption very well enable the function of the body to absorb nutrients and utilize nutrients very well. Now the next function is elimination. Elimination is the removal of all unwanted substances or unabsorbed materials from the GI tract after the complete absorption of nutrients. The elimination is performed by the large intestine of the GI tract, which is also a very important function of the GI tract. So, elimination is generally termed as excretion. You may be wondering if I say that GI tract play a very important role in immune surveillance. In your day-to-day, you ingest not only food, along with that or apart from that, you intake a lot of unwanted substances, maybe in the form of food, along with the food that contains the packaging materials, the chemical substances that are present inside the packaging materials, or any other toxic and disease producing substances, non-food materials may cause a lot of allergic reactions to the body when it enters. But your immune system ensures that, scavenges these and ensures your general health, that you are not getting an infection from them and not getting a toxins from them. So this is one of the most admiring quality of the GI system, which makes us feel safe when we consume and survive in this world. So, why should we pay attention to healthy gut? As we all know, healthy gut produces healthy digestion. Not only healthy digestion, a healthy gut that contains a lot of bacteria that supports us to get immunity from various infectious diseases. The immune cells that are synthesized by the bacteria that wards off the infectious diseases against bacteria, virus and fungi. Again, the healthy gut communicates the brain through nerves and hormones, which helps us to maintain the general health and well-being as well. The gut health is generally describes the function and balance of bacteria with the many parts of the gastrointestinal tract. Ideally, organs such as esophagus, stomach, intestines all together work to allow us to eat, digest and comfortably absorb the food to enhance the normal function. You have many bacteria present in your body. In fact, you have more of them than you have the cells. Most of them are good for you. The ones found in your gut not only help you digest food, They work all over your body and can boost up your physical and mental well-being. It is the microbiome of your body that decides the healthy gut. What is microbiome? Microbiome is the atmosphere of the microorganism, or the collective genome of the microorganisms which are present in a particular environment. And the microbiota, the microbial community that are present inside the microbiome, which play an important role in deciding the health status of an individual. Approximately 100 trillion microorganisms exist in human GI tract. And the microbiome is now best thought of as virtual organ of the body, which is determined by this microbial count. The human genome consists of 23,000 genes, whereas the microbiome encodes over the 3 million genes, producing thousands of metabolites, which replaces many of the functions of host, consequently influencing the host's fitness, phenotype and health. It is the gut microbes are key to many aspects of human health, including immune, metabolic and neurobehavioral traits. Different levels of evidences support the role of gut microbiota in human health, from animal models to human studies. The microbiome is the home for bacteria in your digestive tract. Here, it helps you to break down the food as well as nutrients to get absorbed by the body. When the microorganisms in the microbiome stops growing when they run out of food, so you will have to feed what you require and what the microbiome require. In the gut microbiome, the good bacteria do more than just help with the digestion. They help keep your bad bacteria in check. They multiply so often, and that unhealthy kind of microbiota don't have space to grow. When you have a healthy balance of bacteria in your gut, it is called as equilibrium. So only when you get this microbial equilibrium, you will be treated as a healthy human. Several researchers have found out if you have too much of certain kind of bad bacteria, you may end up in your body with diseases like Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis and irritable bowel syndrome. All these kind of unwanted conditions are now existing very commonly among the population. The running stools, the urging motion, the epigastric burn and abdominal complaints are very common among general public of day to day. All these happens just because of the bad bacterial growth of the microbiome of your body. So you will all have to think whether you have good microbiome in your body or not. So if you grow good microbiome, automatically the microbes that can cause these kind of diseases will be ward off. Up to 10% of an individual's daily energy needs can be derived from the bacterial fermentation in the GI tract. The total mucosal surface area of the adult human gut is up to 300 meters square, which is making it largest body area interacting with the environment. It is colonized with more than 100 trillion microorganisms, weighs more than 1 kg and corresponds to more than 10 times of the total number of cells which are present inside the body. Usually, the human host lives in harmony with the complex gut microbiota. However, under certain circumstances like antimicrobial intake, stress, poor diet and living conditions that affects the microflora balance, which results in upset of your body. Moreover, the normal fermentative process may produce undesirable metabolites like ammonia, phenolic compounds, toxins, etc., which results in development of body disorders. The gut flora is also susceptible to contaminate from trans pathogens, which further upsets the community structure, results in gut disorders. Gut bacteria play an important role in human health, such as supplying essential nutrients, synthesizing nutrients like vitamin K, aiding in digestion of cellulose, and promoting angiogenesis and enteric nerval function. But in recent years, scientists have discovered that GI system has even bigger, more complex job than previously appreciated. It's been linked to numerous aspects of health that have seemingly nothing to do with digestion, from immunity to emotional stress to chronic illnesses, including cancer and type 2 diabetes. It sounds complex for us, but actually this is the truth. Our gut has been engaged in complex metabolic activities which we are not actually much aware of. The gut flora is also susceptible for contamination from transient pathogens, which further upsets the normal community structure and results in gut disorder. These are the consequences that can arise out of imbalance of microbial count and imbalance ratio of good and bad bacteria, resulting in several gut and other related disorders. Gut bacteria also play important role on your heart, healthy heart. Some kinds of gut bacteria may be part of cholesterol production and heart disease development. When you eat food like red meat, egg, these bacteria, the harmful bacteria, make a chemical substance called TMAO, trimethylamine N-oxide, which is cholesterol synthesizing component in the liver, which makes us to get the blood vessels clogged by deposition of cholesterol. So when the TMAO level, the production of TMAO level gets suppressed, the development of heart disease may also get reduced. This can happen only when the gut microbiota has to be improved. The good gut microbiota has to be improved in order to suppress the bad microbiota that can produce cholesterol producing TMAO. So the gut health has to be keep in consideration in order to boost up your heart health. Excessive TMAO circulation in the blood may not only affect your heart, it can also affect the function of kidneys. You can very well develop kidney related disorders by excessive circulation of TMAO. By controlling TMAO development by the bad bacteria, you can alter this problem. By ensuring good microbial growth inside the GI tract, you can arrest the growth of bad microbiota that can produce bad TMAO. When the TMAO level in the blood or in the circulatory system gets lowered, all these kind of chronic diseases will automatically reduced. So there is a need for a good symbiosis of good gut microbiota here. Also, good bacteria play essential role in good brain health of human being. Your brain sends messages to all over your body. Study shows that the balance of bacteria in the gut microbiome may affect your emotions and the way your brain processes information from your senses like sight, sounds, flavor and textures. Scientists suspect that changes in the balance may play a role in the conditions like autism spectrum disorder, anxiety, depression as well as chronic pain. Now, let me tell you the commonly found microorganisms in our GI tract. Some of the species that are found in our GI tract are Bacterioides aspergillis, Bacterioides desmelanogenicus, Enterococcus faecalis, Escherichia coli, Enterobacter species, Klebsiella species, Bifidobacterium bifidum, Staphylococcus aureus, Lactobacillus, Clostridium perfringens, Proteus mirabilis, Clostridium tetani, Clostridium septicum, Salmonella enterica, Faecalibacterium prasuntizi, Streptococcus. What are the poor food habits against these good microbiota? Generally, in our day-to-day life, we follow certain poor or negative food habits that engulf these good bacteria and alter your microbial symbiosis. Only when this gets ruptured, you will develop problems of above mentioned. The following are going to be the food habits and behavior by which you will affect your gut health. Number 1. Not eating diverse range of foods. A lack of diversity within the gut bacteria limits the recovery from harmful influences such as infections and antibiotics. A diet lacking in a variety of different whole grains which can result in a loss of gut flora diversity. This may have number of negative health effects on your body. Next reason is lack of prebiotics in diet. Prebiotics are type of fiber that passes through the body undigestedly and promotes the growth and activity of the gut-friendly bacteria. A lack of them in your body may harmful your overall digestive health. They are very important for increasing healthy gut bacteria like Bifidobacterium. The next reason is drinking too much of alcohol. In terms of gut health, chronic alcohol consumption can cause serious health issues, including dysbiosis. One study explained the gut flora of 41 alcoholics and compared them into 10 unhealthy individuals who consumed little to no alcohol. Dysbiosis was present in 27% of the alcoholic population and it was not there in the healthy population, non-alcoholic population. The beneficial effect of moderate red wine consumption on gut bacteria appears to be due to its polyphenol content. Polyphenols are plant compounds that escapes in digestion and enhances the gut bacterial growth. They may also help to reduce the blood cholesterol and blood pressure. In the present scenario, today we undergo treatment with antibiotics for several infectious conditions. When you exceed the level of consuming antibiotics, it can also result in poor gut microbial health. Antibiotics are generally important medications for treating infections and diseases caused by bacteria, such as urinary tract infections, sore throat, upper and lower lung infections. These antibiotics work by either killing bacteria or preventing them from multiplying and have saved millions of lives over past 80 years. Antibiotics usually cause a short-term decline in beneficial bacteria such as Bifidobacterium and Lactobacilli, which can temporarily affect the good bacterial growth and increase the harmful bacterial growth inside the gut. So, enhancing the growth of good microbiota can be done by consuming reduced number of antibiotics. Another important behavior of us in our day-to-day is lack of physical activity. Being physically active has a number of health benefits, including weight loss, low stress, reduced risk of chronic diseases. Regular physical activity promotes the growth of beneficial gut bacteria, especially Bifidobacterium and Akkermansia. These positive effects are not seen in individuals who are non-active in nature. So, activity play an important role in enhancing gut microbiome too. Cigarette smoking is another important devastating reason for maintaining a poor gut health. It is the most important environmental risk factor for inflammatory bowel disorder. This is a disorder which is characterized by inflammatory digestive tract, which results in poor absorption of nutrients and lead to chronic malnutrition. Not only malnutrition, it can generate other chronic metabolic disorders too. Sleep is an important factor, physical factor for our physical and mental well-being. It's a 24-hour internal clock that affects your brain, body, hormone. It can keep you alert and awake, but it can also tell your body when it's time to sleep. It appears that the gut also follows a daily circadian rhythm. Disrupting this biological clock through lack of sleep, by the shifting work and late dinners, may affect the gut microbiome and may affect the sleep also. Sleep deprivation can disrupt the circadian rhythm, which is very harmful to the microbial growth, especially the good gut microbial growth of your body. There is another important, most wanted factor for the poor health is too much of stress. Stress exposure in mice was studied scientifically, affecting the bacterial population of their GI tract. Potentially harmful bacteria like Clostridium can be activated very well because of the stress releasing hormones, whereas the same can kill good gut microflora also. Can you change your gut bacteria? You get your gut microbiome at birth, and the world around you affects it as you grow up. It's also influenced by what you eat in your day-to-day. That's why it can be a different one depending upon where you live and by what you eat, and why you may be able to tilt this bacterial balance. So, if you can consume a very good gut healthy food items, you can definitely alter your gut health or improve your gut health. Diet and gut health play a vital role in prevention and control of several diseases. This is today's research topic. So let us move into the foods that can promote good gut microflora. They are generally known as prebiotics and probiotics. Eat more prebiotic food which favors the growth of microbes in the gut. Eat plenty of foods rich in prebiotic fiber such as legumes, onions, asparagus, oats, bananas, garlic, ginger, bean, etc. All high fiber containing foods are called as prebiotic substances. All these fiber don't have the tendency to get digested fully, that can travel into the large intestine, get retained for long period of time and enhance the growth of the good gut microbiota. That is the reason why we always recommend eat more fibers, gut-friendly fibers that will definitely support good microbial growth. My second recommendation is consume more foods rich in good bacteria called probiotics. Probiotics can increase the abundance of healthy gut bacteria. What are probiotics? Probiotics are substances or food materials or food formula that contains more number of microorganisms. The pickles, the curd, the yogurt, the buttermilk, the batter of your idli dosha you eat every day contains n number of good gut microbiome. So that microbial containing food materials are called as probiotic components. When you consume adequately these probiotics, it can enter into the GI tract and enhance the microbiome positively. Eat foods rich in polyphenols. Polyphenols are non-nutritional substances, flavoring substances present in many of the Indian foods that enhances the antioxidant property of our body. It can control the production of the free radicals and reduce the chances to get all metabolic disorders. Polyphenols also enhances the growth of gut microflora by consuming polyphenols rich berries, wine, chocolate, tea, tomatoes, carrots, cucumbers, all fruits and vegetables with good flavor contains polyphenol. The fibers and the pigments that contains polyphenol may not get digested well in the GI tract and gets retained in the colon and enhance the growth of the good gut microorganism. Varieties of millets and whole grains are very good for the good microbial growth in your gut, as they contain very good amount of fiber as well as micronutrients. Eating nuts every day make you get very good gut health. A small handful of nuts and dry fruits are adequate to get your gut microflora. Avoid diet drinks and sugar-free drinks and low-fat foods. Artificial sweeteners can cause bloating, and low-fat foods do not satisfy your hunger and can promote overeating also. So drink water throughout the day. If you add lime and a pinch of salt to your water, you can replenish your electrolytes as well as you can soothe the gut function. Nuts, seeds and legumes like beans and lentils are excellent source of both protein and fiber. Exercising common sense of consistency in consuming these kind of food items can enhance your life's health as well as gut health. Fresh vegetables and fruits every day, which results in good microbial growth. Homemade yogurts and curds are great for a great microbiome of your body. If you are very craving, you can have just a piece of candy instead of a cake. Instead of eating solid, creamy diet, you can eat the diet which is rich in fluid and fiber. Make time for quality sleep, because good sleep enhances not only a good mood, also encourages to get a good health. To gut health also, sleep is very important. We discussed already. To improve the sleep quality, try cutting caffeine in the late night. Sleeping in complete darkness is essential. Making a structured sleep is also mandate. And before you go to sleep, just read with a book and go with the music will be very ideal for quality sleep. Reduced stress is another important criteria you have to keep in day-to-day activity in order to improve your gut health. Regular exercise, meditation, deep breathing exercises may help reduce your stress levels. If you regularly feel overwhelmed with the stress, you may want to consider your physician or psychologist. Regulate your stress, reduce your stress, enhance your microbial quality. To conclude, not only the clean hands ensure COVID safety, it is also the microbiome in the gut saves us from many infectious diseases like COVID-19. So, eat well to get a healthy body, treat well your gut for a healthy body and mind, the healthy life. Thank you for listening to this lecture.